Hi everybody!
Hi!
Welcome back for episode 3 with myself. I'm Pepine van den Berg. I'm here with Myoki. I have a practice for natural health and stress and trauma recovery. And Myoki has her health blog, as you all well know. And we're still a bit in summer. I've had my summer holiday and a lot has happened since then. And we're trying to find our center again because a lot is happening all over the world. And I think it's harder and harder to stay centered and be connected to ourselves, to our environment, to our loved ones, to everybody. So Myoki had a wonderful idea today to talk about. So take it away.
Start. Shoot.
Yeah. Because one of the things when you feel you're not connected anymore or you're overwhelmed with stress, with the news, with what's happening, and it can be overwhelming. You can feel tired. You can have all sorts of physical sensations. And you told me that one of the things that you found out is that we can all read it in your blog. You had a gratefulness diary, and you remembered it a few days ago. That one of the things that helped me stay connected, stay grounded, was being grateful.
Yep.
And grateful has a very high frequency. So,
and since we are all just frequency,
hmm.
and I think it's important to keep your frequency as high as you can in times like this. And we did talk about being in nature. Connecting
to animals,
to the flowers, to the trees, to the air, to the water, and also being creative can bring you back. We didn't cover gratitude yet, and I can feel really, really grateful when I sit outside very, very early morning because I have a sick pug. Being in my garden, in between all the green and the herbs, and working, sculpting. With my pug, moving around, like 5 or 6 in the morning, and I can feel. But it's crazy times, but I can still feel very, very grateful.
Wonderful.
And that's something we didn't cover.
No.
Yet.
Yeah. Because it's a spiritual practice that is well known. I think I've known it for at least 20 or 15 years. So I understand that it was a little bit drawn to the background, but it's very good for everyone to remember this, to be grateful for the little things that we have.
Yeah. Absolutely, and when you look all around the world, those little things become more and more little as well. So I think it's important, however little it is, to bring it back into your consciousness, into your emotions, into your thought process, and back into your body as well.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
And on my blog, we wrote a lot on gratitude, and on my Facebook, I had a group, the Attitude of Gratitude, where I had a quote every day, and every evening name 3 things you are grateful for today.
Yeah.
And I did that for a year, and then I thought, well, everybody knows the practice by now, because usually it takes like 90 days to incorporate a new attitude or a new practice. And then people started asking, can you pick it up again? And I was thinking, you know it by now. You can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And also with me, it got back into the background, and I caught up in all worldly stuff that is going on.
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago I was thinking, I forgot something. Yeah. I need to bring it back as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Because it's really important.
A divine intervention.
Yeah, I wanted to say a small divine intervention, but actually it's a big divine intervention. Because, I think it keeps me connected in an ever-changing world. And it keeps me open.
Yeah.
Whereas the pressure from outside is making people do this.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's really a pushback.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not an aggressive pushback.
No.
Because it's not in my.
It's almost an act of love that you can do.
Yeah, and it seems small.
I'm just going to close the window for a second. Yes?
It seems small, but in actuality it's a big thing. Because with gratitude and with quietness, it brings about some kind of meditation almost. And which is a good start of the day.
Yeah.
And it's a good part when you meet somebody or when you talk to somebody in whatever way possible.
Yeah.
So it's
and not having any expectations, because I like to keep out of my expectations when I meet somebody. I'll connect to myself, and being connected to myself, I connect to the other person and try to really listen and not forming all these sentences in my head before replying, just listening.
Yeah.
And so then something can come into existence and you don't know what, but you give it every space.
It's coming to bloom.
Yeah. Without pushing, without expecting, without for me it's the safest thing in communication I can do.
I think it is. Yeah, I agree.
It's what you do with your sculpting as well. Just being there and just not pushing or carving with something you have fixed in your mind, or
it's just not working like that.
No.
Sometimes I have an image in my mind I want to make, and it never ever works like that for me. Never. I always have to follow what the
lines
what the stone says.
Yeah. Can you take me through the process of sculpting?
Sometimes I order a stone and then it's a complete surprise.
Okay.
But I'd rather go to a store where they sell stones so I can see it and I can feel it. It's a very tactile for me. I have to see, not just see, but I have to really feel.
Yeah, and is it rough or already polished, or?
No, it's always rough, but I have to see and I have to feel the structure of the stone, the color. Sometimes the color changes while I'm working with the stone. Recently I had a stone brought from Kenya. Crazy colors. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa. And but you know, it was a form, it was a very heavy, big thing. And I was thinking, I cannot do anything with this form because I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So I started to bring about the colors. And then sometimes that triggers form.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't.
And you have to
Put it aside.
Put it aside.
Put it aside, and possible after a few months I see that stone again, and I think, that's it.
Yeah.
Now I can see it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see it when I buy it. And then immediately there's a connection. But this is it. I can do this with it or that with it. And then it comes to bloom. Sometimes also not, because I screw up.
Okay.
And the stone breaks or whatever. Also possible.
Yeah. But it's the process.
Yeah. It's just being... it's like leading the energy. I always connect stone to Mother Earth. So when I'm sculpting, I always sit almost like a man. Boop. You feel
like a rock.
Like a rock.
Like a mountain.
Yeah. It's like sit and also feel.
Yeah.
Feel my body, that I can relax and sit. Sit uptight as well, because otherwise I get pain everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's an important part. And the other thing is connection upstairs, which leads to the form. So it comes.
So you channel the energy from the crown to
it comes together
heart.
And then in a form.
Yeah.
And like I say, sometimes it works and sometimes it breaks.
And when it breaks, what happens to you?
Then it breaks. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you can accept it. This is, yeah.
Sometimes it breaks and then I put the pieces away. Yeah. And sometimes I see the pieces again and I think, hey, I can make this or that from it. Yeah. Also, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not connected to any formal knowledge. It's not connected to frustration.
No.
It's just connected upstairs, downstairs, and out.
Yeah. A creative flow.
Yeah. And sometimes it comes out what I had in mind, and most of the times not.
Beautiful. It's what makes us human. It's what makes us this creativity, whether it's writing or sculpting or making music or writing poetry or just writing or filming or photography.
And I think, and maybe that's a very important clue as well, is the fact that they can, whoever they may be, can try to regulate our lives or can put us in a corner like this, but they don't realize the creative power, the soul a human has. And you can think of all kinds of rules and regulation, what you can and cannot do, or for whatever reason. But if you forget the human, the power of the human collective, of the human creativeness, you leave something very, very, very important out.
Yeah.
And that's what I see coming back to a lot of people. And some start sculpting or singing or dancing or making music or whatever. Go on the street.
Doing crochet or knitting.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is, just that it comes out, that you can get back in touch with this creativity. Like in Hinduism, they have 3 major gods, if I may say God, like Brahma, the origin, the creative power, Vishnu, who wants to keep everything in place, and Kali, who destroys everything.
Okay.
Not just everything, the wrong consciousness, the ignorance.
Okay.
That's the word. Kali comes with the sword, boom, hits it away.
Yeah.
So I like to get in touch back with the creative power, the origin, because I think if you can do that as a human being, especially in times like this, I think you won.
I think so too.
I think you won.
Yeah.
Even when they lock you up in your home or whatever,
Yeah.
if you can still access to that creative power, there's nothing lost.
You're right. Yeah.
Because
that's what you also read in books of survivors from whatever, whether it's in a sentence in prison or wherever. It's so inspiring to read how, when they were in prison in solitude, how they kept their minds busy to not go insane. Because I think that's one of the escapes we have: our mind, our soul, how to stay connected. And I think these books are very inspiring. And when you think you are locked up, locked down, these things that you never thought of come to fruition.
Or the things that you've been busy with in the past and
never had time for,
or got lost in the background. They come back again, and they can empower you, like gratitude.
Yeah.
They can elevate the frequency you have.
Yeah, and you stay out of fear.
Exactly.
It's the opposite of fear, because fear is the one thing we have to get out of.
Yeah.
Because it's very destructive to be in fear all the time.
Yeah.
Like we discussed in our previous vlogs.
Yeah, that too. And I think it goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Every human being has that power. You have a choice. You have a choice to get out of yourself and to go in the outside world and form your meaning and become fearful. And, but you also have a choice to cut it out.
Yeah.
And connect back with that creative force or creative source, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which form it takes, as long as you can do it. And then you have a choice, and then you can leap back and forth. And that's what I do sometimes. Be creative, get back in touch with the news, get back in touch with my creative power, and get back. So there are parts of the day where you can, at least where I can, relax and disconnect from news, disconnect from fear, and it's a conscious choice.
Yeah, it is. I totally agree. Yeah,
it's a conscious choice to listen or to not listen, to read or not to read.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took out my TV. I'm not listening to any press conference. I do not want to read whatever they, whatever rules they make up. I'm a human being. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not putting anybody else in danger.
No.
Because that would be something that I could not live with for myself. So this is my choice, and it's not, it may sound like survival, but it actually isn't. Because this creative fountain goes beyond survival.
Yeah. And I think it has an eternal value.
It is an eternal flame.
When we're not there anymore, what we have created lives on. In a way, what we write, what we create.
Also that.
Yeah.
I heard somebody, I was listening to, I think we talked about this before, when this crisis, if I can call it a crisis, came into our country. There were like three energies. 1984 of George Orwell, and the years leading up to the Second World War.
Yeah.
There was also a shift in this energy, like we can actually see coming now.
Yeah.
Economic, monetary crisis coming soon. And also the months leading up to the murder of a politician, and I was listening to him. I've been listening to him all those...
Again?
Yeah, I've been listening to him again. I don't know why, but sometimes it brings something up or whatever. Yeah. And he said, and that really hit hard, like, if you, it doesn't matter what you do, but if you're being creative, it's the need to leave something behind when this form leaves this earth. Yeah. But what you did and how you make people feel. Yeah. And what you created, whether it's a book or whether it's a sculpture or a song. Yeah. Yeah. That is what people will remember about you. That's what you leave behind. Yeah. And we all know this form changes every year. Get older, maybe lose physical power, but gaining emotional power or more mental power. Yeah. Where one goes down, the other one comes up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why I also wanted to have these conversations, because I'm at the age that you start to give wisdom back to the world. Yeah. Especially the older women. Yeah. It's like hex. What's it called? The crone. Yeah. The return of the crones, ladies and gentlemen. But I think that's the case. When you look at the society of India, you have a period that you are a child, the period that you are gaining knowledge. Then you have a period where you have your own family. And when you get older, you give back all the wisdom to the newer generations, which is logical. Yeah. Only in the West, or in this country, we forget. We put older people in a hospital or in old age home. Yeah. Or, Well, actually, they should be back in society and share the knowledge they got. And tell the stories. And tell the stories, but the stories are the carriers of the knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm from an Indonesian background, and I so relate to family communities. And I always loved to, my grandmother didn't really speak Dutch well, but I loved listening to her. I love both my grandmothers. And I think we all love that. Listening to the story, sit down. Grandma, can you tell me another story? It's also kind of soothing, or it makes you feel safe as a little girl, a little boy. Yeah, but our generation stands on the shoulder of the previous generation. That's where you build. That's where you build from. Yeah, and talking to our ancestors. I remember 2 weeks ago, a very good friend of mine unexpectedly died, and the first thing I did was reread the letters from 25 years ago. Yeah, it's the first thing, because that's something you can. I was looking at pictures. I was reading the letters. You start to remember, and that's all you have left from a friendship. So I think it's very important to that we not forget that we have this this way of expressing ourselves. Very important. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Like, I reread 1984. I saw those clips from this politician. I saw a lot of stuff leading up to the Second World War. So that was after I got that feeling. Just to find the words, just to find the wisdom. Yeah, yeah. And to take the wisdom into the situation we are in now. Yeah, yeah. So what do I see? And learn from it, or of course, or be prepared, or be more conscious of what's going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, what is what people are saying now, like an economic crisis and a monetary crisis coming, and food shortages. And last weekend I got in touch with a farmer. He has a pluktuin.
Yeah, a picking garden.
Yeah, he has a lot of land where where people can go and pick their own vegetables, fresh from the land, and you pay, of course, for a year. Season is from April, May till November. You can go there 7 days a week whenever you want, and you can pick your veggies. I was thinking, I want to do this now.
Yeah.
Because it's food from the land, it's food from the season, which is beneficial to keep the body.
Yeah.
And helping the community as well.
Yeah.
Helping those farmers. I like to see things grow and develop. Not just vegetables, but also human beings.
Yeah.
I like to see that, and I would think it's a good step to take right now.
Yeah.
And for those few months that there's nothing on the land, so I'm preparing for that as well.
Yes.
If they come to bring my groceries, I always extra rice, extra dried beans, extra pasta.
I will phone you for recipes. What do I do with dried beans?
Yeah, so
I have 5 bags.
Yeah, so that's the way how I prepare, and maybe it's just not necessary. Possible, but we don't know.
No,
you never know. But you see all prices going up already.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking I'd better do it now. Or actually, I've been doing it for the last few months.
Yeah.
Every time I order my groceries, I let them bring something extra.
Also water, or I was thinking about a few bottles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And also enough food for the dogs. Yeah. Because you never know. I mean, the situation is very uncertain these days. You never know when anything might happen.
Yeah.
And it sounds like ominous, like anything might happen, like it's anything might happen, but that's not the way I mean it. It's like, okay, might happen, but I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different energy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
well, I was watching a program yesterday from, we have a magician called Hans Klok. And he was Sunday on the, you saw it?
No.
Well, he was on the television on Sunday. And what we have to be careful about is that his mother or somebody from the family, we are talking about being prepared, but they stayed prepared for the rest of their lives. When there was no threat whatsoever. I think we have to be careful because we are conditioning ourselves to a threat. But we also have to come out of it. Maybe in the future we will have to talk about that. How do we rid ourselves of some fear or threat?
People are conditioning in wearing masks, in being jabbed, in being afhankelijk, dependent on the government.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that as well, like, what is everybody doing? What is happening? And is it just fear? What is going on?
Or is it, maybe it's a bold statement, is it the way of the least resistance?
No, I think it's, we had such good years. And when you become dependent on somebody else or on a government in these things, you become like lazy. It's like
that's what I mean by
it's like going to sleep, almost sleepy.
Yeah,
and there's no power anymore or no knowledge anymore to to have a backbone, to stand up, to take care of yourself, to take care of your loved ones, to take care of your house, your home, your animals, your garden. Nothing left if you are dependent on your government.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And what if they stop feeding you?
Yeah. What happens then when they say, you can only have food when you get jabbed?
Yeah, your social credit system.
No way.
I hope it won't come this far.
No, but and when you say depend or staying into a certain kind of dependency, like my mom and dad lived through the Second World War, and my mom was always preparing.
Yeah.
Always, for the rest of her life, she was preparing until the day she died.
Yeah.
When I had to empty her apartment, food everywhere.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
So, and that stems from
that's
that
what I
time.
see in my family as well.
Yeah.
Being overweight, because maybe someday there won't be any food.
Yeah.
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 Hoarding. Yeah. Keeping the smallest sliver of paper or, And it's not so long ago.
It's just 8 years.
Yeah.
And we had some damn good times. Way too good.
Yeah, we have some meat on our bones.
Let's keep walking. Yeah.
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 We have a very innate survival mechanism. So going back to nature, biology, we will survive, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I think it will, this whole period, we are in now like 18 months or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think it will absolutely change humanity.
It will, yeah.
This will have, I think, a really lasting effect on everybody. This is something that goes right straight into your cells and you will never forget this period again. At least that's what I hear from people around me, and I can feel it in my own body as well. I will never forget that there are a few people who locked me up in my own home for weeks on end. I'll never let that happen again. No way.
No.
That time, in the beginning, okay, and I went with it, and it ain't gonna happen again.
No.
Never again.
We'll speak again when it happens.
No.
No.
And
discuss our strategies.
Absolutely.
And you can be a witness of this conversation.
I have dogs, so
you can go outside.
I can go outside anytime.
I'll borrow one.
So I can go when they have a curfew again. I can still go out.
Yeah. Well, I'll hold you to it. So the moral of the story: everybody be grateful.
Like I'm grateful for this conversation. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, we'll keep our frequency high. So
be grateful.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Bye.